Bad dream? Morning.
Morning.
Yep. Been out like a life for a few hours. Trouble sleeping.
You knocked me out?
Yeah. What? Not a fan of taking your own medicine? Did you forget that you've knocked me out twice already?
That was precautionary. You only got me because I was
Read your diary while you were napping. Got to say, there's some interesting theories in here. A meteorite containing a deadly virus. A lab accident leading to an outbreak. This one's my favourite. Contaminated fast food causing people to want to eat flesh instead of overpriced burgers. Pretty bizarre. So, which one was it? Which one do you think caused the infection?
Honestly, all of them.
How so?
Well, to start, sometime in the late summer, astrologists spot an incoming meteorite and calculate its path to strike somewhere in the US. That night, the lucky people of Knox County look up to see quite the light show as the meteorite breaks apart and touches down somewhere in the countryside. One of those said meteor fragments breaks off and directly hits a biolab, penetrating an experimental wing of the facility, releasing something into the air. Whatever it is then carried on the wind towards a farm, where it starts infecting the livestock. The exact kind that gets sent to a factory to be killed, butchered, and neatly packed into a box to be sent to all of the spiffle restaurants in the area. The people of Knox County then purchase the food, and share stories of the meteorite they saw one night, unknowingly infecting themselves, and soon find themselves craving the flesh of their friends and loved ones.
Wow. Quite the chain of events.
That's just my theory. It could have been any of the prior that led to the disaster.
And that stuff I read about the purple mist, is all of that just another theory? I think they left.
They'll come back if you don't shut.
Wow, that's the attitude you have for the guy that stayed up all morning keeping you safe.
Yeah, the same guy that nearly gave me a concussion. Alright, listen, I'm abandoning this place. Before I go, I need your help with—
What? You can't leave. You said that you had patients. You want to abandon them too?
My patients are all dead.
Dead? What about Nathan?
Who?
Fucking one arm that you've been delivering meds to. He's still alive.
Well, he hasn't been responding to my radio messages. If him and his daughter are like many other survivors don't want my help, I'm not wasting my time trying to help them.
The hell do you mean to... Forget it. Where will you go?
Anywhere but here. The city is completely overrun with infected, and it doesn't help that more and more people of Knox County like yourself are coming here for help. Before I go, I need to turn off that signal jammer. If I'm going to abandon whatever survivors are still in the city, I might as well give them the ability to communicate with one another.
Why did you even bother jamming them in the first place?
Because there are some people out there that are trying to kill everyone in sight to keep this infection at bay. It seemed like a good idea when I was trying to find volunteers to help me find a cure, and to also help those that wanted it. Show me a map. The jammer is on this building behind the hospital. While you're there, I need you to make as much noise as possible to draw the infected away from the ward where I keep my research. After which, I'll meet you outside the makeshift wall, and we'll head to the bridge, avoiding the main city. When you turn off the jammer, use your radio to let everyone know in or around the city that it is lost, and head to Riverside instead. Some of my last patients mentioned it before they left the city too.
Okay, I get turning off the jammer and telling people to go somewhere safe, but why do I have to be the one to do it? Why don't you head there and I'll just grab you?
Because A, you have no idea where my research is or what it looks like, and B, you have a f***ing assault rifle. Do I really have to dumb it down anymore?
I was considering my options.
Alright, remember, on the roof of the building behind the hospital, get as much attention as you can so I can go get my stuff safely. Easy.
Said the guy who isn't a wandering distraction. Alright, go! Alright, I don't have to kill them all, I just need to slow them down so I can get out. Come on. Oh, this is what I get for putting a long-range scope on a rifle when I'm just shooting someone right in front of me. Ah, come on! Ah, it's embarrassing. Right, you know what? Screw it. And of course there's more. Yeah, there we go. Can I make a rope in order to get out? Oh. No, shit. Right, you know what? Screw it, it's just one story. I'll take the damage. Oh! Oh! Okay. Hoping that I'd made enough of a distraction for the infected to follow me, all I had to do now was try and make my way through the courtyard of infected. If I took too long, I'd find myself surrounded and in need of rescuing. Of course, I didn't expect the doctor to come and help, should that happen. Which building was it? There's two here. Not to mention a shit ton of infected. Too many to run from. Alright, guess I'll have to deal with them. Right, if I can just find somewhere to bottleneck them, or at least have a secondary exit, that'd be great. Nothing useful. Forget it. Oh god, of course. Oh, of course. Right, hold on. Is there an exit in here? Nope, it's just an office. Alright, well, this is where I stand. And of course there's nothing useful in a filing cabinet. Alright. Screw it. Once that one wave of infected were dead, I thought I could take my chances and try and sneak across the road to the next building. Only for one of the main gates to the city to collapse and bring in another wave of infected. Okay, behind the barrier, and I'll just pick them off one by one. Nope, that didn't work. Alright, screw it. As I ran to a nearby car park, I noticed that I had hit the wall of the hospital grounds, meaning that the building I was right outside of must have been the one that had the jammer on the roof. Breaking in, I was surprised to see that there were no infected on the first floor. I suppose the doctor was correct about infected mainly surrounding the actual hospital instead of the buildings close to it. Checking the second floor, once again, no infected. I didn't see why the doctor didn't bother to just make a base here instead of at the top of a hospital. Then again, I suppose he was more familiar with that building than the other. Checking the third floor. Nope, still no infected. What about in here? Oh, that's depressing. Finally, I reached the roof. On that roof, like the doctor said, was the jammer. The very thing that was protecting any survivors in the city from those hazmat killers, but also ruining any chance of them calling for help or communicating with one another. Okay, now that I'm here, I'm realising that the doctor didn't exactly tell me how to turn this off. I'm supposed to... Oh. One of these might do the trick. Huh. Was kinda expecting a bigger boom, but... hello? Hello? Ah, there it goes. This is Ken speaking on Nox's emergency frequency, or at least to all those that can hear me in the city. It's kind of a long story, but there's a reason why radio frequencies were being jammed in the city. I'm sorry to say this, but the city is lost. There is no help coming. The military and the doctors have abandoned Raven Creek to the infected. There is one place that I've been told, however, that can help. And it's a place called Riverside.